everyone, it's Rel Klein. You're watching another Supernatural review, and this is season 14, episode 8, Byzantium, something like that. If you're new here, I do a recap and review of every single episode of Supernatural, so let's get into it. So my boyfriend got me this mic recently so I can do these videos better. Hopefully this turns out okay. I don't know, I had it, this is like a necklace, and I was trying to like have it, and it wasn't as good because it's like lower. I don't know how to get it like clipped on. I need to learn more. I need to see if there's a way to clip on because I like to talk with my hands. So let's get into this episode. Maybe it's cool me holding a mic. We'll see. So this episode, I left off the good list or the bad list. I was kind of questioning it at times if it deserves to be on the bad list, but I actually feel like things about it was emotional and good and everything. So, but it doesn't deserve to be on the good list, so it's on the bad list. Basically, last episode, I talked about it wasn't good. We never progressed. Nothing happened really with Jack. Beginning of this episode, he dies. Supernatural, when someone dies, do they say dead? No. Also, if it's the beginning of episode, do they say dead? No. So Jack dies, and they're all emotional about it when, you've known him like for a year. You guys have known him for a year. It hasn't been that long. But they're very emotional about it. I guess they saw him as a son, which I feel like my first time watching, I really felt that. But like this time watching, and you're watching the episodes back to back, like he was gone for like half the season last season, and like Cass was gone, and like Dean was gone at times. So it's like really like it feels a little bit exaggerated. Like you guys actually weren't that close. Like Bobby's death was like a big thing, but like, you guys weren't that close, and that I don't know. But whatever, both struggling to deal with it, Sam and Dean, and they actually show that for a while too, like both of them struggling to deal with it and them trying to look for different solutions. Jack is in heaven, but I think I think that was smart for the writers to do, where it's like, the human part of him would be in heaven, but the angel part of him would want the empty, or the empty would like, that's where the angels go when they die. So it's something where it's like that kind of makes sense, that I guess maybe the empty would come after him in that way. So that part makes a little bit sense. And then found his mom, and that was really nice to see the actress, and it was a really nice way for Jack to really meet his mom and like interact. And I was thinking it was probably something the writers wanted to do, but obviously like the actress didn't have an obligation to come back to Supernatural ever, probably just in season 12. And I don't know, maybe they were like, in case we need you for a flashback in season 13, but you never thought season 14. But I think she was willing, and it was good to see their interaction and everything like that. So they brought back Liddy Sunder, and that was a really great episode in season 12. Obviously now she's an older, so they had a different older actress. I don't know if it's they couldn't get back the actress or whatever, or if it makes more sense for the storyline that she's an old person because she was worried about where she would go when she would die. I don't know. Anyway, but I don't know if I really loved it. And then the idea, like, I feel like they didn't know what to do, and so they're pulling an idea out of their ass. I don't remember how season 14 ends, but I don't understand how we got there. So this part actually like made me be like, okay, maybe now I'm understanding or realizing more how we got to the end of season 14, because it's like obviously something happens more with Jack. Don't want to spoil it for people, but basically, oh my god, you guys probably can't hear the pigeons because I'm talking into a mic right now, but the pigeons are going like crazy. Anyway, they do that whole thing, and then Cass goes to heaven. Well, also before I get into this, there's this whole thing about who decides where you go to heaven and hell. And it's something we haven't seen before. We obviously seen reapers and we've seen angels and whatever. It's like, who decides? But in the end, it is like your own fate and like the choices you make that like gets you there. So obviously at the end, like her, helping them and sacrificing herself for the good deed, let her go into heaven, which is what she wanted because she wanted to see her daughter. So that was cool to see. We never really saw that before. I think it's interesting. Obviously, like, Supernatural dives into biblical lore and all that stuff. I mean, even before season 4, we were that way, but Angel's introducing that, like, when it's a biblical lore, it's fine, it's whatever. I'm Jewish, the Old Testament's the same, I believe. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so the empty was there, and the empty also took over that angel's body, which I think she's a really, like, I've seen her in other stuff. She's a really, really talented actress. And, it's said that her part in this and part in other stuff is very small. Like, At least I would say this is a recurring role because I feel like we've seen her in a few episodes, so that's good that it's recurring and not just a guest star. But she is an amazing actress, and I think she did an amazing job as that empty. And they're lucky that she was there doing an amazing job because I don't know if every actress or actor or whatever could have done as an amazing job as she did. But then Cass makes this deal with the empty, so Jack's not taken, which that makes sense. But then the empty being like, I'm gonna wait till you're like the happiest, that part didn't make sense. I think it's obviously because they didn't want Cass to be taken now. They were like thinking, what can we do? What can we do? So they're thinking this is more awful. I guess it's more awful, but it also doesn't totally make sense. I think, I remember how Cass dies now, but I don't know if he's taken sooner than that. I don't really remember all the details. But basically, that happened, and then he tells Jack not to tell them, which I don't know if that ever happens. And then they're kind of happy at the end. And then they have a lead on Michael, which I thought Michael was still just in Dean's head and not out there in someone else's body, but that's what they think. And I don't know why I didn't put two to two together, but because I guess I knew Michael is coming back. But they obviously don't know Michael's still in his head, kind of. And I guess we're not supposed to know. And sorry, I know. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here. So I think it was an okay episode. I've been struggling with this season. I think, there's strengths and weaknesses. I don't. It's you can't watch this out of the blue. It's serialized, but I feel like there's some importance to some things, and we'll see what happens. So anyway, I'm gonna end it here. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye.